Part 11. Dear students, after some presentation of the process and discussion, and when I present you my understanding of ecumenism, after the researches, and because the question of the social Christian teaching and the ecumenism is new, but it's very necessary and important for the society, because the Christians and all people who believe in God must find the solutions and the method of the cooperation if we would like to realize the commandments of God, realize themselves, realize the principles of their faith. How always popes write the message, pastoral message to the people, they always write and begin with the words. This message is to the cardinal, bishops, priests, yes, and in the end, and to all people of goodwill. It's a very great words, because for us to change the situation, to change the world, to change the system, political, economical, social, often we don't have to lose our time, the time of our lives, in many discussions, thinking, but in the cooperation for it. And often we need only one thing: goodwill. Now I will speak about the history of the ecumenism and social Christian teaching, because if we analyze, and we will analyze the dates, we will see that the ecumenism and social doctrine of the Church began in the same time. Because if we analyze before, if we will speak about the teaching of the Church, we will see that the process of the ecumenism and the social teaching was begin from the beginning of the Christianity. Because when Christ spoke to the people and to say to not only to the follow the commandments, but the following of the commandments means to change the style of life, the quality of life, and to change the political economic system on the principle of the justice, truth, liberty, and others. But the question of ecumenism was born in the 19th century. Even the social Christian teaching, in particular Catholic social teaching, was born in the same time. Why? In the beginning of the 19th century, we have the age of the innovation, the age of the technology. Before which rapport we had? We had the agricultural territories, where were different dioceses, parishes, and some people were from villages to cities, but it wasn't so much of them. But after the innovation, which brought the industrial revolution, many people were without the job in the villages, as they went to the town, to the cities, to look for the job. It was born of the class of the workers, the person who sold their capacities, the time of their life, in the fabrics, and received salaries. We can say that the burden of the ecumenism and the social teaching was thinking that the changing of the styles of the life. Because the workers didn't feel the connection to the land, but to the territory, but they feel more the question of their solidarity. They worked, but they were very, very poor, and they united them in different communities, movements to protect their interests. Often they were of the different religions, like Protestants, Catholics, and Orthodox and others. And in this time, Catholic bishops and other Protestants and other Protestant leaders began to speak about the justice, and because salary was were only 1/3, thinking of it, they could buy the products, they could receive some services. The salary was their right to live, their possibility to live. And what was the reason of the social teaching and the communism in this time? First, it's migration. Second is communication. In the agricultural sector, the people worked all week, and then often they have seen one another only in the liturgy. Before, it was important the aspect of the family's institution, because the person in the agriculture works by whole family, and in the cities they were in the groups and in the communities. It changed completely the rapports and the relations between the people. Second, as I say, is the communication and understanding of their life. They were not more communities, but more organized group. And in the same time, they asked themselves to find the answers very important, like justice, quality of life, poverty, and others. Thinking of the church in this time, in particular in Western Europe, the many questions they found in the documents of the church, and in particular in the teaching of the popes and thinking of the Centesimus Annus. This encyclical was published in 1891. We must say that the question of the poverty changed from aspects, but not the level of the poverty. We call the poverty by other way, but often we live in the condition of the poverty. If we analyze the style and the level of our life, we can say some very interesting facts. For example, part 12. If we speak about the poverty, today we don't resolve this problem. There is massive poverty in the world. We can see the dates of the World Bank, we can see the dates, statistics or sociological. But poverty is not only one of a range of urgent social issues we must all be aware of, which include war and refugees, conflicts, water supply, health, drugs, trade, and environmental and natural problems. The list is dating, but we do not need to despair. The situation is one that we can help to improve. This goes not only for the global picture, but even more for the local one. We must ask ourselves on our level, what I do, which step I do to change the situation, or I can, or I do everything what is in the limits of my capacities to change something. Forever we can only make a contribution, whether at the local or at the global level, if we are prepared to do three things. We must commit ourselves to making a difference. We must analyze the situation as intelligently as we can. We must work together. We must be ready to analyze the situation. Often many people call you to trust. Even on the dollar, we read, in God we trust. But I say you one thing. Don't trust. First of all, don't trust yourself. Because to control yourself, to control everything which is in yourself, spirituality, and when you don't trust yourself, you look to find and to analyze the real potential which you have inside of you. Second, always to be ready to make the difference. We must know what is truth and what is not truth. Because often the lying or organized lying enter in our consciousness, and often we don't do good things because we don't know or don't want to recognize it as good things. It's a real problem in modern time. And that point, very important, is that we must work together. We can't resolve any problem today if we are not ready to work together. Maybe I repeat often it, but it's really so. Because our land is our home, with different flats, with the same garden. It's important to create practical ways how to realize the common good. This was the church teach us it. Because the Christianity says that each of us is made in the image of God and is called to become God's likeness. My dear people, we are already the children of God, but what we are to be in the future has not yet been revealed. All we know is that when it is revealed, we should be like Him, because we should see Him as He really is. John 3, 1, 2 sentence. Being as image of God, a child of God, each of us is loved by Him. Wherever far we stray, God wants us to return to Him. Each of us has a destiny in God. That means that every human being has equal dignity with every other. For each individual human life is directly related to God, as it serves and carries its end and destiny, regardless of the outward appearances of strength, beauty and intelligence. It was this valuation of all men and women as equally precious in the eyes of God that led to slavery, no doubt, to the abolition of slavery in Europe, and eventually to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It is hard to see how a claim to fundamental equality of all people could even be sustainable, right, without this belief of something like it. For in every other way, human beings are so very different from each other.